Okay, the Bokuaka Part 2 is now out. And it's actually a few days and not a month later. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this. Bokuto set the sports bag onto the floor. He slipped off his shoes and walked into the quiet home. It was currently 3 a.m. and Bokuto just got home from a training session. He stood a little later than the others because he wanted to perfect his new spike. As soon as he stepped foot into the living room, 3 small bodies hit his much taller one. 2 bodies were bigger than the third one. He looked down to see his kids. His 10-year-old son Akinori, his 9-year-old son Ato, and his 5-year-old daughter Himari. He gasped in shock, completely forgetting that it was 3 a.m. Bokuto picked up the youngest owl, Himari. "What are my little owls doing up so late?" he said while pressing 2 kisses on both Ato and Akinori's heads. Himari spoke up before the other 2 could. "Daddy said that you were coming home late today. And we wanted to greet you, Papa." The 5-year-old beamed. Akinori, the quieter one of the 3, hugged his father. I missed you, Papa. You never train this late." The older owl smiled at the oldest. "I wanted to perfect my new spike so I could show you guys." Ato, who was surprisingly quiet, now spoke up. Really? I wanna see. Papa, can we see it? Please. He jumped up, latching on Bokuto's bicep. Yeah. Can we? Akinori looked up with stars in his eyes, waiting for their father to respond. "Of course. I practically mastered it. It goes like whoosh and bam." Himari and Ato nodded. "Whoosh. Bam," they said, following what their father said. "L like whoosh and bam?" The older nodded. "Tomorrow we're all going to the gym. We can see Uncle Omi and some. Akinori beamed, loving the time he spends with his Uncle Omi. Ato smiled, loving the time he spends with his uncle some. Himari frowned, although she did love her uncles Omi and some. She favored her Uncle Shoyo. "Will Uncle Shoyo be there? I wanna see Uncle Shoyo." The older Omega smiled at the youngest. "Of course Uncle Shoyo will be there." All 4 owls jumped around, all shouting the familiar words hey. Of course, Akinori was much quieter with his chant, but still just as loud. Before they could continue their chant, they heard loud, well semi-loud footsteps. Looking up, they saw it. Or him. Their very grumpy father, who clearly was woken up by the loud noise. The alpha looked at his family. Himari was being carried by Bokuto, Ato hanging on Bokuto's bicep, and Akinori hugging his father's waist. Akashi took in the image in front of him. Akashi's anger faded away when he saw the sight of his family. He smiled and walked towards them. Akashi kissed his lover. "I see you're home. Why so late?" "I wanted to practice my amazing new spike. I pretty much mastered it. Tomorrow we're going to the gym. Will you come, Kashi? Kashi, can you come? I want to show you Kashi." "I'll come, Kotaro." The older owl beamed while the younger owls also beamed. "So both Papa and Daddy are coming. I can't wait. Why can't we go now?" "It's too late to go now, dummy," he said quietly. Ato whined and pouted and turned towards his brother. "Aki. I'm not a dummy." The 2 bickered while their younger sister watched. Her short dark brown hair, similar to Akashi's, shook when she tilted her head while her blue eyes watched her brothers. She turned back to her father. "Sleep?" Akashi nodded and gently took her from Bokuto. Bokuto waved the younger bye while his attention shifted to the 2 oldest. "It's time for bed. We need our rest for when we practice tomorrow." The 2 looked at their dad and nodded. Ato grabbed his brother's hand and pulled him to their shared room. Bokuto walked into Himari's room and pressed a kiss to her forehead and tucked her in. He walked into Ato and Akinori's room and saw the 2 getting into their separate beds. He tucked them both in and pressed soft kisses to their heads. After they all shared a short goodnight, Bokuto went to his and Akashi's room. He got into bed and hugged his husband. "Good night, love," he said, turning off the lamp that was located on the nightstand next to their bed. "Night, Kashi," he shouted. At 4 a.m. the family went to sleep. Surely they would all be tired in the morning. But not that it mattered at the moment. For them, it was a normal day in the Akashi household. You made it to the end of this video. I hope the video was enjoyable. The next video's officially coming out to the part 2 of Bokuaka and the 1K special. After those videos are out, then I'll be doing the videos that you guys requested. Anyways, I finished writing the 1K special, so look out for that video coming out next.